Did you guys know that the dumbass looking Asian carp is now an invasive species in the USA? It was introduced in the 70s and they just followed the path of the waterways all the way down the Mississippi. Anyway, that being said, let's talk about the interesting social structure of the Carpathian mountains. So if you zoom into this part of Europe, you'll notice that there is a weird kind of curvy shaped mountain range. This is the Carpathian mountains. And if you zoom out just a little bit, you'll notice that they connect to the Balkan mountain range, which creates what I like to call the strange backwards S of Europe. Anyway, the Carpathian mountains is pretty interesting because it's one of the most heavily concentrated ethno-linguistic parts of Europe with peoples that don't have their own state. The largest of these ethnic groups being the Rusyns, or sometimes called the Ruthenians, or the Carpatho-Ruthenians, Carpatho-Rusyns, whatever you want to call them. They're found in the northern Carpathians, mostly between Ukraine, Poland, and Slovakia. They also have disputed subgroups, Lemko, Boyko, and Hutsud. People say that these are subgroups of the Rusyns, but these people also say, oh no, they're separate. Whatever, you decide. Anyway, Rusyns are categorically Eastern Slavic peoples, meaning they're related to Ukrainians, Russians, and Belarusians. The main biggest difference, though, is that most of them are Eastern Catholic, not Eastern Orthodox. They consider themselves a whole separate thing, but Ukrainians kind of consider them as like a subgroup of Ukrainians. What do you decide? Next up, we have the Goral people, mostly split between Poland, Slovakia, and Czechia. Look, I know some of you guys are like, it's not Czechia, it's Czech Republic. Look, I'm just gonna call it Czechia because it's quicker and faster, okay? Czechia, the Czech Republic. 2 extra syllables. I don't got time for those 2 extra syllables, okay? The Gorals are unique because they're kind of like Slavs that have like a hint of Latin admixture and influence, because historically they intermixed a lot with the Vlach people, who were Latin Romance speaking peoples, and they don't have their own language. They just speak their own dialect of whatever country they respectively live in, Poland or Slovakia. They're known for their dark wooden Goral architecture and their traditional costumes, which usually have these like big, thick leather belts, and they're like obsessed with violin playing. And finally, you have the Székely people. That's right, this word is pronounced Székely, not Székely. They are located in the Transylvania-ish region of the southern Carpathians in what is now Romania. That's right, I said Transylvania. Long story short, Székely people are basically Hungarians. They're not Slavs, they're not Latin, they're Hungarians. They basically speak the same language, they just have like a little bit of a dialect. They're the largest minority group in all of Romania, and they have a whole backstory that goes all the way back to like Austro-Hungarian times, and it's too complicated. We're not going to get into it, but you can probably tell where I'm getting at with this. So there you go, the Carpathian Mountains. It's filled with a bunch of people that have their own thing going on, just not on a sovereignty level. Cheers!